It's recording.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hancock Park Referral Network. Please remember to put on your video and list your name and category in your Zoom ID. Post any contact info in the chat. Meetings begin at 7:16 and end by 8:31. We will be ending sooner than that. And remember, this meeting is being recorded for possible publication and advertising and marketing. All right, welcome to the April 27th. Is it bad that you remember your high school sweetheart's birthday was on this day?
Yes.
Only when you bring it up 30 years later. You could have just kept that, you know.
That was like 30 years ago. Do you guys remember your ex's birthdays?
No. For me, it's the same as my current.
That makes it easy.
Yeah, that makes it easy. But the befores, I don't even remember their names.
Agreed. And even if I did, you'll never know.
You'll never know, exactly.
No.
Okay, we have a couple of guests here today, folks. Jimmy, can you go to the next screen, please? All right, let's do a quick introduction. You guys will have a chance to speak a little bit more later. Just your name, your company, and category. Let's start with Doug Weinstein.
All right, I'm Doug Weinstein, and I'm in the commercial and retail bakery business. Well, I will be in your area. Right now, I'm in the telecom IT sales, but Doug Weinstein Bakery.
Okay, love it.
Hey, Doug, can you break off a piece of that challah for us and share it? Is that what that is in the background there?
That's the idea.
And Miriam.
Man.
Good morning. My name is Miriam Mujdi. I'm co-founder of MAM Architects, and Erik invited me this morning.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you.
And a former client. I guess not a client, but bought a house from my client. Yep. Okay. And small world, she's the architect on a house I just sold.
Oh, cool.
How small this world is. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Who can we? Cynthia, can you read the creed?
Sure. LaTip is a professional organization of men and women dedicated to the highest standards of competence and service. Our purpose is the exchange of business tips. Members will at all times maintain the highest professional integrity. Each business category is represented by one member only, and conflicts of interest are disallowed.
Lovely. Wonderful. Next, the definition of a tip by Antonio Goodwin.
Definition of a tip is a qualified business tip qualified business tip is a company or person who's interested in a specific service or product and is expecting a call from an HPRN member, which is Hancock Park Referral Network.
Just to remind us, thank you. Love it. Thank you very much. Okay, today we have BJ is not going to be with us to do her videos. She says she thinks I ate something bad. Okay. So we will hopefully have her back next week doing her videos and feeling better. And in the meantime, we've got John, who's going to do an hour and 45-minute speech on. Wait, I've got my schedule.
Don't.
Yes.
I was gonna say, do not tip.
Don't.
Start with your instrument, John. Start with the banjo.
God, the banjo.
Oh,
with the banjo?
Start with the banjo.
Intro, baby.
Nothing to wake you up
he's
like
gonna
a
break it out.
in the morning.
He's gonna do like a show every 3 minutes, 30 seconds. He's gonna do a commercial for himself.
I'm just trying to think of a way to shut it off. Enough of a cowbell to shut it down when it's time.
That's the West Virginia good morning right there.
Wasn't there that Saturday Night Live skit, Needs More Banjo? Isn't there something like that? Needs more banjo?
It needs more cowbell. Yeah, it needs more cowbell.
No. All right. Well, we've wasted 2 of John's precious minutes here.
That's all right. I'll make it up on the back end. I'll make it up. Okay.
He always finishes strong. Okay.
Yeah.
So, John is our resident title insurance representative, and he's going to give a little speech today, and then we're going to go into something called tip storming. All right, let's go. John, you're up.
All right. Well, good morning. What is title insurance? You know, as I'm looking at Erik right now, full screen Erik. I don't know how I got you full screen Erik, but I've got full screen Erik right now. So what is title insurance? You know, most people don't know what title insurance is. You know, even when I got into title insurance, I didn't know what title insurance was. It's not something you go to school for and say, geez, I want to get into title insurance. You don't go to school for that. You usually end up falling into it. So what title insurance is and does is, is it protects the buyer and a lender in a real estate transaction. So when you purchase a home, you're going to want to get a title insurance policy. And what we do is we're going to protect you against any claims of a previous owner after you take title. So we're going to protect you against any claims from previous owners, any claims from maybe a lien holder coming out of the blue. We're going to protect you from things like that. Now, we don't protect you from the things you do to yourself. So you take title to a property and you start transferring your title, you start doing things and creating liens and problems on your title. We don't protect you against yourself. That's all on you. We protect you against the seller. We also protect the new lender. We have to protect them. So I see Jimmy Green there, not full screen like Erik, but I see Jimmy Green, and we have to protect the lender, and we're protecting them and making sure they are in first position. And what I mean by that is that there's no other lien ahead of them. I'll give you an example of something like that. A mechanics lien. I know we have an architect here, would probably be familiar with mechanics liens. Mechanics liens, you know, they technically start the day the contractor puts his foot on that property. That's when the potential lien period is going to start for us. So we're looking at that going, okay, a mechanics lien could take precedent over a deed of trust. If you have us miss something and a mechanics lien starts popping up, well, the lien period could have started before the deed of trust or mortgage recorded, but we have to ensure the lender in first position. So this is essentially what we do. Now, leading up to what we do, there's a lot of things that kind of go behind the scenes. Leading up to what we do, we provide information for real estate agents, mortgage brokers, attorneys, business managers. We provide information. And so we have all these services. What we get paid for is title insurance. But what we end up providing is a whole bunch of services in lines of loan information, lien information, property tax information. So what happens is the realtors, loan brokers, they call up somebody like me and they ask me for property information of all sorts, from CC&Rs to easements. Now, CC&Rs, for those you don't know, it's covenants, conditions, and restrictions. And even though most people think, well, it must be a condo. Well, no, houses can have CC&Rs as well. Again, as I'm looking at the architect who knows this. So houses can have CC&Rs as well. But we provide all this kind of documentation, easement searches. So if you're looking for, you and the neighbor maybe share a driveway. Well, is there an easement recorded for that driveway? Maybe, maybe not. So leading up to providing title insurance, I'm forever doing searches for things like that. I'm doing searches for things that are even, I love that there's an architect here. I'm doing searches for even beyond that, where people are asking me for permit information. People are asking me for setback information. Now, setbacks is where you can put the structure essentially in relation to the property line, would be kind of an easy way to look at this. But all properties have setbacks. You can't just necessarily put your house right up against the property line. You may have a 5-foot setback. You have to set it back 5 feet. Well, then maybe there's an easement there that's 10 feet wide. It's larger than what your setback is. So we're providing this kind of information often, again, as I'm picking on the architect, oftentimes I'm telling people you need to talk to an architect. And I don't have any architects, again, I'm picking on the architect. I don't have any architects to refer. So I end up referring a lot of people to a land use company, which kind of does some of the similar things an architect would do, except they don't draw things necessarily. They have architects that they work with. But I end up getting a lot of questions for zoning information, sewer information, setback information, height restrictions. I'm forever on the city websites, just doing research for the agents. A lot of it starts with permit information, where we're looking for different things. And a great example, this one came up yesterday, guys renting out, and they called it an ADU, is what they called it, an accessory dwelling unit. And now what they're renting out is this underfloor area of the house. As they asked me, can you look at permits? And I looked at permits, and I'm looking at all this stuff going, okay, well, I don't see a standalone accessory dwelling unit. What I see is a permit for an underfloor laundry room with a bathroom and a storage area. Well, that isn't really an ADU. That isn't really what you should be renting out as a unit. So they are renting out a storage area with a bathroom with a makeshift kitchen, which is supposed to be the laundry room, and they're renting this out as a dwelling unit. So these are some of the questions that people come up to me and ask. And so I provide all these different services leading up to what I really want is I want you to put me into your next transaction, meaning you, a real estate agent, or you, a loan broker. I want you to put me into your next transaction as providing the title insurance, because I gave you all these services and I'm not charging you. So Erik calls me up, and I don't charge Erik a dime. I don't charge him anything. Who I charge is actually the homeowner. So Erik, he gets all this free stuff. Erik, all this free stuff. I mean, you should feel guilty, Erik, all this free stuff I give you. So, but Erik, what Erik will do is he'll refer me to his customers, which are actually the ones that are purchasing title insurance. Kind of like Jimmy Green on the same lines. A loan broker, it's the homeowner that pays the title fees. The buyer in a real estate transaction is going to pay for a policy for the new lender. The seller is going to pay for a policy for the new buyer. So that's where I get paid. But leading up to that, I provide all these different services. And just a little background on me, I've been in equity title for 33 years next month. So I've seen a lot of different markets, and this is a very unique one that we're in right now, but I've seen a lot of different markets. I've seen them, the ups and the downs. I've seen the different foreclosure markets that we've had, over the last 33 years. It's a long time. When interest rates were, what were interest rates back then? 18% or some just horrendous number that you would hear. And so my background, I didn't want to be in sales. This is not what I want to do. I'm actually a very shy person. You wouldn't know it by looking at Zoom here, but I'm actually a very shy person. And sales was not what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to be a title officer. I fell into this, and I like the investigating. I like the searching. I like the puzzle. I like finding the things that can't be found. That stuff is fun to me. And sales, I'm very shy. So sales really wasn't what I wanted. It's not, that isn't something I want to do. Probably still isn't something I want to do. Even after 33 years, I don't know that I know what I want to do still. But sales wasn't really what I wanted to do. But, for me, I'm more of a technician. And I'll be honest, if you're going to have somebody help you with title insurance and with searching and with all these things, I'm not sure you really want a salesman. I really think you maybe want a technician. You want somebody like me to do it, somebody that enjoys the puzzle, somebody that enjoys the searching and the digging versus a salesman. A salesman in my business isn't necessarily looking and digging. And I see this from my competitors that, they pawn things off, and I see what they tell the agents, and then the agents come to me, and then I find the things that they don't find because they're salesmen versus an actual technician. So if you want a salesman, don't call me. You want a technician, call me. I'm happy to help you. I'm John Chadbourne. I'm with Equity Title Company, 33 years. How was that,
Wow,
Erik?
amazing. Amazing. That was like 7 minutes.
Right, I did it.
You did it, John.
I was waiting for the
That
close.
was
I want the
so
manager
good,
to come out.
John. Yeah, that was
I'm
really good, John.
ready for a song at the end.
And
A
hey,
little early
if
for
you guys are
Appalachian
looking
music.
for a damn salesperson, there's no damn salesperson at John's house, okay?
No. Mm-mm.
Just the rest
Eric's
of the
translation
damn
is
salespeople.
hilarious.
John, I have two questions for you.
Yeah.
So you said that it's clear why the buyer would need to have the title, the insurance that the title is clear. You said the seller needs a policy. Is it a different policy?
So what you have going on is the seller purchases a policy on behalf of the buyer. So it isn't really for the seller. Seller's leaving title. Seller's gone. He's out of there. But the policy he's buying is the policy for the buyer. It's the owner's policy. The buyer is buying a policy for the new lender. They're not buying it for themselves.
Oh, right.
They're buying it for the new lender. So yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. And it's going on at the same time. Now also, let's say you pay cash for a property. I'm the buyer, I'm paying cash. I'm not going to buy a policy for the new lender. There is no new lender.
Right.
So really you only have seller, and there's a lot of cash transactions going on right now. And you have the seller purchasing the policy.
And the other question I had for you, thank
you. The seller needs to guarantee that what he's selling the buyer is free and clear without cloud on title. Okay, and so that's why the seller has to buy the title insurance as a way of showing that what he's giving is clear.
And that's also, Jim, hang on a second, Jim, I know you got one more question. That's also part of when you transfer a property here in California by way of grant deed. A lot of people don't know this, but by way of grant deed, there's warranties that the seller is giving that the property is clean. And so a grant deed is an unusual item that most people don't know, that the grant deed actually has warranties in there.
Yeah, so that makes sense. There's those two different policies with those two different insured. It's the question is who is insured, right? And then the other question I had is, so in terms of liens, mechanics liens, is there a piece of paperwork that has to be filed or signed by, like, if there's no contract that is in writing, can there be a lien?
So here's how this works with title. We're not necessarily looking to see if there's a contract. We're not the judge and jury. You do get liens that get recorded, and maybe the guy doesn't even have a contractor's license. The architect may be able to give you a better idea, because we don't really deal with the creation of those liens and the laws behind it. If we see one, we treat it as real, regardless of if there was a contract, regardless of the guy had a contractor's license or not. The quirky part of mechanics liens, though, is they're only good for a little tiny window unless the contractor turns around and sues you to try to enforce that lien, and they put an action on your property. So imagine we look at your property. You're going to sell your house. We look at your property, and you and the contractor had a fight. He puts a mechanics lien on there. Well, at about a year, if there's no action, I'm not even going to look at that anymore. I'm going to go right by it. The reality is they're only good for about 90 days, but we look at it for a year to make sure an action, they don't sue you and put a lis pendens or an action on your property. But again, they're really only good for about 90 days. What we do when you sell your house, if we know that you did work, I don't want to use the term, we're going to put you through the ringer, but we're going to put you through the ringer a little bit. If you did work on your house, I want to know, what did you do? What did you spend? Did you pay your contractors? Do we have lien waivers? What do you have? And so we have a package that goes out. We can ask for financials too. And, people get kind of upset when I ask for financials. And I had to explain this to somebody the other day who was a little bit abrasive. And, I'm trying to be kind of nice about it. But the bottom line is I want to see your financials, because if I have to go after you, I want to know you have the money. And it's that simple. And of course, he didn't like my answer, but you know, it pretty much comes down to pay your bills. You know, it's kind of that simple. Pay your bills. You know, if you're, you know, we worry. This guy had enough questions that made me worry of, okay, am I in for something? And we make a seller sign an indemnity saying, you know, we hold you harmless, title company, if something happens, you know, and while we can look at everything as close as we can, if a mechanics lien comes up, depending on the coverage we're giving you, and most times we're giving you mechanics lien coverage, if one comes up, I'm going to be on the hook for the mechanics lien, and we will go after you, Mr. Seller. We will. And, you know, and I'll be honest, it doesn't happen that often. It really doesn't. Once we start putting people through the ringer, not that I think that they're probably a little more conscious about it, you know, but it really doesn't happen that often, at least with us, where mechanics lien comes up and we have to protect it, to protect the buyer.
Got it. So that 90-day window is significant in terms of the law, and also probably if there's a permitted and there's a certificate of occupancy, that gives you an amount of assurance that the work was done correctly.
So we don't care if the work was done correctly. So that isn't really necessarily our issue. So if the guy Mickey Mouse things, you know, that isn't our issue. Now, when you see a permit and a C of O or certificate of occupancy, we will look at those items for the clock starting to tick on the mechanics lien. So a lot of what's happening here, and Erik can probably tell you, is, you know, guys are flipping houses or building houses. Well, they're selling these houses. They haven't even got the C of O. They haven't even got the final on the permit. And they're putting that thing out there and they're selling those houses. And what happens is we get wind of that. We're going to look at the permits and say, okay, well, you don't have final yet. So I've got to judge, this clock is going to start ticking on that mechanics lien and on that lien period. You know, there may not be a lien there, but we're looking at that lien period of you got final plus 90 days. Final plus 90 days. After that point, if a mechanics lien doesn't hit, we're happy. But that 90-day period, and what happens is these guys, and Erik will tell you, these guys are, you know, selling these things. Somebody comes in and says, okay, I want to do a 10-day escrow. You're closing, you know, you got final today, you're closing in a week or 10 days. And it's like, okay, you're closing right in the midst of that lien period. So yeah, we look at those things, but not for quality of work. You know, we don't care, you know, that the work was shoddy. I know that the contractors, the architect probably could tell you a little bit, but I think the contractors have to warrant the work for some kind of period of time on some of the things they do.
Okay, lovely. Fantastic. Leave it up to John to make it up on the back end, right?
I told you, you know, but wait a minute, we don't have BJ today, so I get two.
Wait. Whoa. Let's not get out of control.
That has a question.
Yes, no, or let's talk offline question. Do you do businesses too? Yes, no, or we'll talk offline.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. No. But if you need an escrow for a business, I think Wilshire Escrow does business escrows. I think Commerce Escrow does business escrows, but we don't do title on businesses. It's different.
Okay, great. All right, Jimmy, did you get my little text that I sent you just now? Okay, beautiful. All right, so thank you very much, John. Appreciate it. We're now going to go into the second phase. Yes, everybody give him a hand. He's doing great. Okay, so we're going to just quickly look at our tips here. Can you see it is now April 27th and we have a 4-tip minimum. So we need to step it up this week. As you can see here, we've got, Jimmy, can you scroll? I can't scroll. As you see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 12 reporting. I think we've actually got 11 official members. Out of that, we've got only half. So we need to make sure you guys are reporting this week. And in anticipation of questions, we're going to do a little thing called tip storming. Jimmy, if you can go back, or I guess I don't need you to do that. Let me just go back here so I can see you all. So we're going to do a little 2-minute exercise each called tip storming. Okay, and what we're doing is we are storming for tips. We are going to be each giving a 2-minute quick, hey, this is what I'm looking for this week. And we're all writing this down, keeping a note. Okay, this is what Cynthia is looking for. This is what Antonio is looking for. This is what T is looking for. Just a quick sentence or two that will, in your mind, sort of coagulate what it is that when that person comes who Antonio is looking for, your lights are gonna, your light bulb is gonna go off, kind of thing. Does that make sense? So why don't we, since I mentioned Antonio, why don't we start with you? Just a quick 2 minutes. What are you looking for this week?
I was just about to close my camera.
I'm gonna put the timer on here.
Really?
Go ahead.
I feel like you're treating me like John right now.
Yep.
I'm looking for any individual and or family, and even maybe a small business owner who maybe just started, left the job, or they're transitioning jobs. They have an old 401k. I'm also looking for people who are trying to, and right now, spring cleaning, spring season, they're trying to like kind of gather all their assets together, put a plan together, or have an idea where they want to go. I want to be able to help them kind of, put a plan in place, gather all the assets together, and help them move forward. So transitioning jobs, old 401k, or trying to combine all their old 401ks into one location or place. Someone who maybe left one job, started a new business, and they have an old 401k, and they want to try to move it into an IRA. Those are types of clients or people that I'm looking for.
Okay, beautiful.
Antonio Goodwin, financial advisor, Ameriprise Financial.
That's what I was going to ask for. When you guys introduce yourself quickly for the guests, tell us what you do. Next, let's go to Russell. Russell?
Hi, everybody. I'm Russ Talley. I'm an agent with New York Life. I do mostly life insurance. So for this week, what I would really love to find or be tipped for do is somebody, a couple who's just had a child within the past few months to a couple years. They don't have life insurance, but they have a need to protect themselves. This is very important, of course, because it comes down to, protecting who you love and what you love. So I'm looking for people who, people who have new families, basically what it comes down to. I'm also looking for a pre-retirees, people who are thinking about retiring, haven't had a plan put together as far as life insurance for their family or for their spouse. And I want to be able to help them out with that. So I'm Russ Talley with New York Life.
All right, so guys, when you see or hear of a baby, this should set off a light bulb for Russ Talley, okay? You guys do know somebody in this group knows somebody with a new baby, for sure. So that person, we're relying on you to introduce to Russ, please. Next, let's go to Doug Weinstein. Can't hear you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Weinstein. I am in this group. I'm going to represent Diamond Bakery. My business partner and I are buying the 75-year-old Jewish legacy bakery there on Fairfax. We're opening escrow next week. We're closing escrow at the end of the month. But Erik coincidentally had invited me. I launched my telecom business in La Tip with Erik over 25 years ago. And so when he called and said La Tip, I'm like, I'm in. So actually any of you that are in the area, go take a look at the inside of the bakery. Tanisha, if you could take a look, I want to do some upgrades on the shelving units and things. I need something built. Miriam, you too, if you want to go by, grab yourself a holler or a Danish. Money on it, but let's see, escrow, electricians, what else do I need? And anybody who's looking to carve up in early June, we're gonna have lots of carbs, lots of sugar, and lots of gluten. And don't forget, gluten lives matter.
Awesome. So what you really want over the bigger picture, I'm guessing, is like groups and catering and things like that?
Not really. Yeah, I guess so. People have to come pick up. We're a commercial plus a retail bakery. So, yeah, gift baskets. You know, if you're having a life cycle event and you want a platter of cookies, you want pastries for a breakfast meeting, you want to send some bagels to your friends in Omaha, you know, or something like that. We do mail delivery. We do, you know, breakfast pastries delivery, cookies. We're gonna change. We're gonna uplift and upgrade the whole concept of the retail space. And we're gonna make it newly old-fashioned. But yeah, breakfast trays, that kind of stuff, and you know, really good bakery. Holla.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, Doug. So excited about you opening that up.
Well, it's open. We're just assuming it, and we're gonna bring it back.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that.
My pleasure.
Miriam, 2 minutes. What are you looking for this week?
This week, I think it's pretty much the same as every week. We're always just looking to grow our network with consultants and clients. So just good people who care about design, care about sustainability. I think on the client end, just looking for people that have realistic expectations of schedule and budget. I think that's something we struggle with a lot. Or people who think it should cost half as much and should be done in a quarter of the time that it takes. So if you know anybody who has a better sense of that, that would be great and really cares about design. And then on the consultant end, anyone knows any good structural engineers or surveyors, that would be really helpful. They're in high demand and hard to find good ones these days. So
Structural engineers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know most of the ones we work with, it's hard, it's sort of like a Goldilocks problem. Like for the smaller renovations and additions, it's hard to find a really good structural engineer for that. We have a handful, but we could use more.
They're really busy right now too.
Mm-hmm. The market's crazy, so.
Yeah.
Okay, if anybody knows a structural engineer or people who are into design and sustainability, right? I don't know anybody who's into sustainability, so I'm gonna.
I guess I should clarify what I mean by that is that we want to become experts at sort of retrofitting and remodeling and building ground up sustainably, right? And so it's tricky to find clients that really care about it more than a superficial, like I drive a Tesla, but I won't spend another $50,000 to get like the right insulation that's non-toxic. So that's sort of that type of client is what we're looking for.
Okay.
Tell them it's Tesla
Tesla
insulation.
All right, nothing wrong with Tesla drivers. Just one second.
No, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just like there's things you do for show or things you really do because you care, and so we'd like those things to be a little bit more, integrated.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, T, you're up.
Sorry. Who I'd like to meet this week is I'd like to meet a client or get a referral to a person. All right, my time's up already.
Nope, you are good. Nope.
Time.
To meet a client who wants to either do a whole home renovation or ground up construction. That's what I'd like to start moving towards. I have a lot of renovation projects underway, both residential and commercial, but I want to do a whole home renovation or ground up. That's what I'm looking for.
So you're looking for somebody who is buying the dirt or buying a tear down and needs someone to take over from there.
Yes, or after Miriam has drawn the plans for them and they're getting ready to go to the next phase. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
So sell the house, Erik, and then turn them over to me. Miriam, draw the plans and turn them over to me. Please, respectfully.
Okay, love it. Anybody, I mean, there are people, we all know people, we might not know that we know people, but we know people whose dream it is to build their own house. That's a big ass dream in LA.
Well, you know what? You You asked for it. I think you have to speak it into the universe.
Absolutely. All right. Next, Liberty.
Okay, well, speaking things out into the universe, what I'm looking for this week are a couple of things. I have a couple bodies of work that I've just finished that I'm looking for places to show. So like businesses that, would like to host a body of work. But in addition to that, I've had a lot of success lately with getting more teaching gigs. And so that's always a great way for me to make things happen. So I don't need another teaching kids class, but I got a lot of those right now. But looking for, like speaking gigs to groups that want to hear about creativity and bringing that into daily life, and, like lunch and learn type things, or like I can do private lessons for adults too. That's another fun thing. So those types of things are kind of what I'm focusing on this week, but especially speaking it out, I really need a place to show some of these bodies of work that I have, because I've been working on them for a long time.
So you need like a corporate type of office where you can hang your wares, yeah?
Yeah, that would be
like-
great. Yeah, there's also like this one body of work that I just am launching this coming week. I have an opening, and it's really about healing like racial trauma. So I have a whole group of people that have contributed to this, and it's actually a really compelling show. And so I feel like it has some applications in like wellness areas and things like that too, or places that are really focusing right now on DEI. And there are mini quilts that have been designed by different people of different races, and I've worked with them to do it. So it's actually a really cool project. And that launches. I'll send you guys the invitation for the event that launches next
How much
Saturday.
space ideally were you looking for?
There's so many different ones. I still have to wrap my head around that, like it could be like an educational space, or it could be a place where, like an inspirational space. It could be a gallery. It could be a lobby of a place. It could be something that wants, like I said, any kind of company that's focusing on DEI right now and like helping their people learn about the stories of other people, because it's a story, it's a narrative art. So people are telling their stories, and then I'm translating it into my art form. But I have over 14 finished pieces right now. So yeah, does that help understand?
Yeah, so I'm thinking like, and maybe this is just for lack of imagination, but a corporate office like somewhere at New York Life, maybe they may have space. Or even
This guy's got a bakery, might need something on his wall.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Doug has some space on one of his walls for a local artist.
Yeah, those types of things are great.
I can
Okay, awesome.
right there and keep changing it every week.
Yeah, you going right behind you.
The whole side of the building is a mural that needs to get redone. If you want to take a look at that and tell a story, we can sit down and talk about from the gates of hell at Auschwitz to Fairfax 75 years later. We can tell that story in a mural.
We can talk. I'm not a great muralist, but I have a really good friend who is an excellent muralist. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Let's have coffee and talk.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. All right. Next, we have, I'm going to say John. Yes. Even when they take 20 minutes, they get their 2 minutes.
Okay. I don't really want to tip this week. I want cinnamon French toast on challah bread. That's what I want, with maple syrup, maybe some salted butter. That's what I want. I don't want to tip. Doug, this is what I want.
Okay.
So,
I want that too. I want that.
You want that too?
I want that too.
When we meet in person, I'll bring it.
Nobody
Hey,
wants
guys.
a tip.
Anybody, guys, right now, it's a refi boom. It's refi craziness, okay? Every other person you talk to is actually in the process of either considering or doing a refi, okay? That is the people that John needs to meet. He is the one who's going to give them the title insurance that doesn't cost any more than any other title insurance company. It's regulated by law. It's a service-based industry, meaning they're not doing it for more money. they're doing the service in exchange for you using their service, if that makes sense. In exchange for you buying their product, they're giving you free services. And so there is no reason why anybody you know who's getting a refi is not using John on that refi. Okay, I'll just put it out there what you're looking for this week. Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And if you do know anybody doing a refi, I actually have really good refi rates, and a lot of people that are coming to me, you know, I'm beating some of the bank rates and some of these other things. You know, I don't know if there's some funkiness. You know, it's interesting with the banks. If you run enough volume through me, I'm going to give you really good rates. And I don't see that the banks are getting that from the title companies. It's kind of interesting. But again, you have somebody that wants to refinance. I know I helped Liberty out on some good rates. And like I said, I'm happy to help you guys.
Okay. Want to make sure though that, you know, all mortgages go to Mr. Green. Just want to make sure that we're not stepping on toes here. All right, next, Antonio.
I thought I went.
I apologize. Next.
I can go again. I can tell you what everyone else wants.
Absolutely not. It's a cold day in it. No.
I see.
Jim.
Good morning. I'm Jim Bloomfield. I'm an acupuncturist on Larchmont. And I have a clinic, 6-room clinic, and I lease space to other and services to other acupuncturists. And so I'm running a business as well as treating a lot of patients. And I'm really interested, you know, for me, if anyone has a referral to a good small business advisory kind of person who knows about bookkeeping and taxes and strategic stuff. So that could be maybe an attorney or some entrepreneurial counseling kind of service. I know SBA does stuff, but I'm really looking for somebody who's really kind of more willing to do fee for service stuff.
Asia at the LA Small Business Development District.
Mm-hmm.
AJA, she's awesome. Those people there.
I love Asia.
Free. Go Asia.
I work with Asia a lot.
Yeah,
okay.
Right?
So it sounds like you can. Okay. Yeah. Great. Well, that sounds good.
And they'll get your money. They'll get your free money too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Asia does mostly the restaurants, but Jim, I can put you in contact with a person who does all business. Mm-hmm. They have attorneys there, they have accountants there, they have everyone, and it's all free.
All free, and they're amazing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because I did some stuff with SBA, but the person I talked with was much more of a big ideas person and marketing. And I'm really I have some very specific questions I'm trying to get some resolution on.
Los Angeles Small Business Development District. They'll do you.
Thanks.
Perfect. Leisha.
Good morning. I'm Leisha Willis. I'm a State Farm agent in Larchmont, and in this group, I am the insurance PNC representative. And this week, I'm going to piggyback on, I think, a common theme: people who are moving or buying. So anybody who's moving, whether they're moving into a new home, a new condo, a new apartment, I'm looking for people who are in need of new home insurance, or anybody who has questions about their current insurance. So whether they're unhappy, they had a bad claim experience, they have questions about their current coverage, they're shopping for price, any of those kinds of questions would be great for me this week. And I think last week I mentioned small businesses. So anybody who has a business who's either comparing their current insurance or is launching a new business and needs insurance, love to help with those things.
Spectacular. Thank you, Leisha. Next is Cynthia.
There we go.
People.
Hi. Let me make sure. Oh, Zoom on my phone is just too much fun. Hold on 1 second. I know I'm burning time here. Where's my Zoom? Can you see me?
Yes.
There. Okay. Oh God, great. Okay, so this week I would love to have 2 people who are in the doghouse in some way, shape, or form in a real estate issue that they either don't understand. It could be landlord-tenant. It could be a landlord or a tenant who would like a 1-hour consultation for $499. I do 1-hour consultations for $499. That's a lot of money to some people and not a lot of money to other people. But in the world of attorneys, I feel I can give a lot of value for that 1 hour. I usually give more than the hour. I usually include some document review for free, but I do a 1-hour consult for $499 or a 2-hour consult for $998. Those are some bite-sized things, meaning smaller matters, would be wonderful to have this week. And I'm happy to be here and really happy to see you all.
So what would be, for example, a bite-size doghouse issue?
Okay.
It could be
I
solved in
have
an hour for $500.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 examples. I'm a landlord, and I have a tenant who is bothering me, threatening me, not paying the rent, saying X, Y, or Z to me, and I need to understand how to respond. Can you help me write an email to that tenant? And for $499, I can't represent that person long term, so I can't put my name on a letter, but I can help them write a letter so that they will understand that there's been an attorney involved. A second example is I'm in escrow and I need help with the disclosure form. I've got the form right here. You can see I've tried to fill it out, and I don't know if I'm disclosing everything accurately or if I don't want to step on a landmine. So I need help from an attorney filling out this form. Filling out any kind of form is something in the real estate world that I can do. I can't write a lease for 1 hour, but I can certainly assist someone with reviewing a lease or crafting a portion of a lease. Like as a landlord, give me the best paragraph that you can so that I'll be able to evict this tenant in the future if I want. As a tenant, give me a lease paragraph so that I can never be evicted. I can help with all of those usually in an hour.
Nice. Fantastic. And well
So I
worked.
just had a thought to piggyback on that, Cynthia. I mean, we all know that Erik is the best realtor on the planet, but I could think of realtors who work with people that are in property management or who buy investment properties, things like that. And like you mentioned, when they have these listings and there's issues with the property and the seller's not sure what they should disclose, I think those would be great referrals for you. Anyone that's got, weird issues with their home, before they list it.
Right. Right. And I used to advise a property manager who would call me all the time and say, I have this applicant that I want to reject. Can I tell you the facts of the situation and may I reject them? And I would be able to advise them quickly, yes or no. And one of the questions was like, during the interview in my office with the person, the husband and wife broke into a fight and started slugging each other. Can I reject them? I was like, yeah.
Cynthia, I have a question.
But, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did I understand you say that there is a clause that you can, for a landlord, there's a clause that you can put in a lease if you know in the future that you may want to evict the client and, just maybe because they don't want a client to stay for more than a year. I don't know, whatever that circumstance would be. But did I hear you correctly?
Yep.
That's good information for me because I know a couple people who own properties. So I think that nugget of information would be helpful in conversations that I would have.
Yes, indeed. And remember, we're talking about a 1-hour consultation for $499. So hopefully they're willing to make that investment. But I have so much information that I'm just like running through it in my mind and wanting to start telling you as I'm hearing this. But Yes, yes, and yes. Please send them to me. I'm happy to help. Let them know there's a small investment, but I'm very chock full of information about exactly that. Yes.
Okay. And they must be nice.
Sorry.
They must be nice.
Yes. This week I'm feeling really tolerant, so they can be mostly nice.
Oh, okay.
They can be
Great.
nice, but if they're a little stressed out and tend to get a teensy bit bitchy, that's okay.
Okay. Got it.
This week, this week only.
Do you have any kind of gosh, the term is flooded my head. Retainer. Do you retainer relationships?
Oh, absolutely. I do those all the time. I work long-term with people. I have even done flat fee consultation retainers for larger clients who want to just keep me on retainer and know they can call me at any time. What I do on retainers generally is I quote a retainer and explain what the scope of the retainer is. We sign a fee agreement and I do the work and bill down against the retainer. Of course, that's the way I normally work. But this week only, I'm not asking for any big retainer clients because my plate is very full and I love that. But I could use a couple of small, like 1 hour consultations, but absolutely long term, I do lots of retainer work.
Great, thank you.
Okay, lovely. Sorry, folks, we got to move on down the road. Next, we got Jimmy Green.
Good morning, folks. Jimmy Green, Finance of America Mortgages, your friendly mortgage loan officer. Look, I help everybody. Anybody that needs help, has any questions about mortgages, if they want to buy or whatever, sell in the future. But what I'm looking for, and I mentioned this before, although Erik is the best realtor on the planet, I could always use realtors who work with high-end clients in high-end areas, helping them out because our specialty is jumbo loans. So if you know a realtor like that, I get most of my business from realtors, my referral business, just like John. So yeah, that would be great, and especially nice ones.
Okay.
But no one's as nice as Erik. Thank you, Jimmy Green, Finance of America Mortgage.
All right, so now, good job. Thank you very much, everybody. We've just completed one session of tip storming. I'm going to quickly go through what we all want. Antonio wants small business. Again, right now, I want you to think about who do you know. Get your pen and your pad and just write names down, okay? Just write names down. Anybody who jars your memory. Antonio, small business, just starting out, maybe doing some spring cleaning for the year, maybe switch an old 401k, maybe got a new job, somebody in transition. Russ, new baby, maybe not insurance yet, sort of a new family starting out, possibly needing various types of products. Doug, bakery, catering, escrow for the bakery, electrician, all kinds of things related to that property. Miriam wants to grow her network with people who care about design and sustainability. Specifically needs to meet some structural engineers. I think structural engineers are a good power partner for Miriam. T, she wants to do a whole house, not just my darn kitchen. She's getting greedy. She wants the whole kit and caboodle. So a whole home renovation or ground up. That means if somebody wants to flip, she can do the whole house part. Or if somebody wants to start from the ground up, usually that's going to mean outside of town a little bit. Liberty, wait a minute, I might know somebody. Hold on a second. I know somebody who's building a house out in 29 Palms or something. Let me just, hold on a second here.
That's right, Erik. Take your time.
Quick, John, grab your banjo. We need a commercial.
All right. Okay. I have now demonstrated the benefits of tip storming here. So think about it. Put that name down with the name of the person here who is looking for them. Next, Liberty, looking for showrooms where she can hang her art. Businesses that would like to be the showroom. Maybe a restaurant. Places where she can sort of show off what she has. in, you know, I guess in places where there's population walking by. And John needs to meet refinances. Anybody who uses the word refinance and they've already gotten it underway with their lender, haven't gotten Jimmy going yet, those people make sure to send to John. If they haven't even started their refi, they also need to go to Jimmy. Jim Bloomfield, did I get this right? Business, you need business resources?
Yeah, but yeah, and I've already received a tip for that.
Nice. Beautiful. Laisha, people moving, people who need insurance, people who are moving, including renters. Cynthia, 2 people in the doghouse in real estate issues. So for example, a landlord-tenant issue, 1 hour for $4.99 can resolve a great deal of problems with 1 session. 2 hour, $9.98 can solve even more problems in 1 session. Jimmy needs to meet more realtors, as does John. John and Jimmy both need to meet realtors. If you have a realtor friend, you get 2 tips out of that. 1 for John, 1 for Jimmy. And finally, there is me, someone who is looking for people who have used the word move. I just want the word move in your head to be trademarked Erik Flexner. So whenever you hear the word move, you automatically think Erik Flexner. Oh, Erik Flexner has a trademark on the word move. I want everybody, when you hear someone say, I'm moving my office, my rental, my house, my condo, my townhouse, my apartment, I'm moving out of the country, it doesn't matter. I would love to meet them. And
get charged for the use of the word move.
That's right. I would love to do that. Okay. Anything else before we move
What's T looking for?
Huh?
What's T looking for?
What is
whole house
T?
reconstruct? Whole house.
Oh, whole
model,
house. That's right.
model.
That's right. That's right.
So anybody with some dirt, meaning some land. Okay, now we're gonna do a quick 30-second commercial, and then we're gonna call it a day. Jimmy, would you mind being the timer? Can you do that?
You got it.
Okay, everybody give us your best commercial yet, starting with Mr. Tally.
You're
Can't
muted.
hear
Tell me when you're ready, Jimmy.
I'm ready. Fire away.
Think about what you love, about who you love, your family, your dog, your home. Sacrifice, discipline, and some generosity allowed you to move into your brand new house. This is where you want your family to be safe, where you and your family will make your memories. Mortgage protection gives you peace of mind and helps you ensure your love. So if anything ever happens to you, your family will have the means to continue being safe in the house that you purchased. I'm Russ Talley with New York Life. Call me to learn how to protect your mortgage.
35 seconds.
Ooh.
Nice job.
All right, next we'll do Doug Weinstein.
Hi, everybody. You wake up in the morning, you grab your coffee, and life just seems incomplete. You look around, you're trying to figure out, how do I complete myself and my life? And you think, oh, I need a Danish or a bagel from Diamond Bakery. That would make me whole and complete. So when you get your coffee, just think Diamond Bakery.
Nice. 28 seconds. You're muted, Erik, which could be a good thing. Erik, you're muted.
Sorry, I said Miriam, you're up.
I'm Miriam. I'm a co-founder of MAM. We are essentialists that turn your story into space. We take what matters, we listen and take what matters most to you and distill it down to its most elemental, essential form. I need to practice my commercial.
That was good. 17 seconds.
That was awesome. And
we're going for 30 seconds?
Yeah.
we're going for 30 seconds.
I'll
All right.
practice.
Perfect. Thank you. Liberty next.
All right, well, I'm the artist that you know. I bring color to your walls. I bring instruction to your children. I bring inspiration to your meetings, and I bring lots and lots of color to you. If you have something that needs some refreshing, maybe it's your brain and maybe it's your wall, talk to me.
Nice. 21 seconds.
Okay, we're going to keep on moving. John Chadbourne.
By the way, Miriam, I have surveyors. If you need surveyors, maybe you can call me after the meeting. My phone number, I think, is on the little screen. If you
Okay.
can see it. Okay, but call me after the meeting. I've got a list of them. Okay.
Wonderful.
Good morning. So liens, judgments, foreclosure. Do you want a salesman to help you or do you want a technician to help you? I'm John Chadbourne. I'm with Equity Title. Please call me.
Nice. Next.
Oh my God, that's a record for you. That was 14 seconds.
I'm not messing around today.
Wow.
We need that extra 16 seconds. Let's move. Jim Bloomfield.
Good morning. I'm Jim Bloomfield. I've been helping people feel better every day for 15 years. I'm an acupuncturist. I do holistic medicine, and I help people with problems that they've had a lot of other treatment for and are not getting results. Things like interstitial cystitis, migraine headaches, fibromyalgia, chronic problems that debilitate people and cause them to seek help all over the place. It can stop here with me. Jim Bloomfield, Larchmont Traditional Medicine.
Beautiful. And he, just like Cynthia, can solve most problems in one session.
No.
Yes, he can.
No. You can't tell. Not for those
That's
kinds
a
of problems.
guarantee.
No, those are months of treatment. Those issues take months. But these are things people have been trying to deal with for years unsuccessfully, and we can really get them some real progress pretty quickly.
All right, but he's still really good. He can do a lot of things in one session. Next, Leisha.
Good morning. So I have a new joke for you. How can using insurance be like using fractions? You got to know what you're doing to make sure you come out whole. If you want to make sure that you come out whole and using your insurance, either you or a family member or a friend, send them to me. I'd love to use my 30 years of experience to help them come out whole. Leisha Willis, State Farm agent, and in this group, I'm the insurance PNC representative.
Very nice. Very nice.
32 seconds. All right.
And don't get me wrong, Jim, of course, is going to be able, he does long-term stuff too, not just your quick in and out. And Leisha, thank you so much. That was very nice. Next, we're going to go to, did I do Antonio already? No. Go ahead then, sir. We can't hear you.
No, I was cussing you out. Good morning. My name is Antonio Goodwin with Ameriprise Financial, your financial advisor. And I work for you. Yes, my company, the people that pay me are Ameriprise Financial, but I work for you to help your dreams and goals or help you achieve your dreams and goals. So you tell me where you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, what you want to leave to your children, how you want to live your life in retirement, or even how you want to start your new business. I leverage the tools and technology of Ameriprise Financial to create a plan, create steps, and guide you along the way. Antonio Goodwin, financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial. And I've had my coffee, eat a bagel.
29 seconds. Nice job.
Beautiful. Mr. Greenspan, you're up next.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Jimmy Green with Finance of America Mortgage, your mortgage officer. So I tell you what, I've got an agent that referred a couple to me that had been pre-approved by a large bank, and she was concerned they weren't going to close on time and that they'd been missing out on offers. So she referred them to me. I got them pre-approved. I got them pre-underwritten so they could write with lower, shorter contingencies, got them into escrow, got them the house they wanted, got everything done fantastic, and their bank still couldn't have done it in time. Jimmy Green, Finance of America Mortgage. Ooh, 29 seconds.
Very nice. Next, Tanisha T.
Yes. Good morning. Do you want to save money? Isn't it obvious? It's a no-brainer. Why walk around with a headache trying to figure out how to begin and complete your construction project? Call me. I have 18 years experience building hospitals, from putting paint on your walls. Help me. I'm trying to get his prop. Let me help you go from this to this.
Worth the wait.
Yeah. Sorry.
From aspirin to champagne.
Yeah.
Isn't it normally my nights start the other way around? It starts with the champagne and finishes with the
Well, no, that champagne was full before the meeting started. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
All right, Cynthia.
I'm Cynthia Juneau of Juneau Law Offices, and call me if you have any kind of an issue with real estate. I love to work for nice people. I love to work with nice people. And I am an experienced real estate attorney with all kinds of information to share. So let me keep you out of the doghouse.
Sissy, I love your dog. He's always sleeping.
Oh, I love my doggy too. He's not always sleeping. He's barking half the time, but thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And then I will go top 5 stressors in a person's life: divorce, personal injury, death of a loved one, injury of a loved one, and that's right, moving. Why is moving one of the top 5 stressors? Because hopes and dreams are on the line. So whether your friend or family needs to lease or sell, get them some real estate therapy, introduce Erik Flexner, and assure them that professional help is coming soon. Call Erik Flexner Real Estate to save the day. Okay. That is it for the day. We are now at 8:24. Any announcements or testimonials before we close up? Liberty.
Yeah, I had T come over and do a consultation for us. And within 1 hour, she, like, my husband's description was this. So she basically changed the whole way we're looking at our house within 1 hour. And I was completely blown away by what she knew and how she was able to look at something very different that we've been looking at that seemed really awkward and bring a lot of grace to it. So we're big fans. I've been talking about her to everyone.
Oh, thank you, Liberty. I have fun too.
Awesome. Awesome. Cynthia?
I have a testimonial. I want to give a huge shout out to the fabulous Mr. Jimmy Green. I referred my niece to him, who is potentially a first-time home buyer, who doesn't have, she's done some really good saving. I mean, incredible savings for somebody that age, but she kept talking to us. And I'm like, I don't know, Haley, I don't know. Call Jimmy. And so finally, she did call Jimmy, and Jimmy sat down, stopped his day, sat with her and helped her tremendously for free. Jimmy, thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate that. The whole family appreciates you, and you're amazing.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. Any last one before we go?
One quick one for Erik Flexner. Last time I was in a LaTip group with him, it launched my business. So if you're looking to grow your business, there's 2 things that'll do it. Bring tips and bring new members. The more members we have, the more opportunity for referrals we get. Bring power partners for yourself and for other people. The more the merrier. And he knows how to lead a group like this. So thank you, Erik.
Awesome, Doug. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Erik, thank you very much for your referral. Thank you very much for that family. Those are tease people, but I appreciate that referral. I'm gonna definitely get them in line and bat them right back to you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you. And Jimmy, thank you for the referral. Jimmy referred me to somebody who he was doing the loan for the guy, and then the guy couldn't find a place. Jimmy introduced to us. We had him in escrow within, I think, about a week. And then there were all kinds of other things that we had to work through. Only true professionals like Jimmy could possibly have made that guy's dream come true. He was marginal at best, and we changed his life together as a team. So really want to thank you. That was really rewarding for us, Jimmy, to be able to make that happen for a guy like Derek. Wonderful. Appreciate it very much. He's really great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that is the last thing, unless anyone has any final thing.
I'll be back in a few weeks. We got to get escrow going and get a bunch of stuff going. So I'll be joining in May or June, or May, probably late May.
Okay, Doug, thank you very much. And the rest of you have a fantastic week. Remember, this is the last week of tipping to get your tips up for us. Remember, LaTip Wired, everything and anything you can think of to refer. This is the week to make it happen. All right. Take care. Have a great week.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.